Western Star Resources has expanded the ground at their tungsten project in Nevada. Here to tell us more details is the CEO, Blake Morgan. Blake, it's a pleasure to have you back on. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you for taking the time to jump on. I know you've got a busy couple of weeks ahead. First things first, though, let's start with the $3 million, 3 million Canadian dollars that you've recently raised. Mate, congratulations. This certainly backs the company's vision. What are you going to do with the money?
Well, it actually gets even better because we actually recently announced another $3 million just over a week ago. So we raised the first initial three. We've now just announced another 3 million, which we're going to be closing next week. That's going to be well oversubscribed. And, the company will be sitting on anywhere between $6 and $7 million. So that gets us all our exploration for over the next year. That gets multiple drill programs, and it leaves some funds in the till to continue development on our past producing tungsten property.
Look, that is even better news than I expected, which takes me to your past producing tungsten property, the Rowland Tungsten Project in Nevada. Mate, you've recently expanded the ground here and you've got a bit more cash up your sleeve. Take us through what you plan to do with the project.
Yeah, so when we've been playing around with this property for some time, doing LiDAR, some mapping, and a few other things. And what we found was the past production was quite limited, but when we explored a bit further, we could see the mineralized trend actually ran for a few kilometers. So it took some time, but we eventually got to consolidate the package. It's now 170% bigger. So now we have quite a large district style package. And we recently announced that we have teams going on the ground. So they could be on the ground now. It could be next week. But we're basically going to be moving into a drill program, geophysics, channel sampling, get the results, drill permits. And in the next few months, you're going to see a Maiden drill program on our past producing tungsten property, which is fantastic.
It certainly is, and you're definitely moving at speed, which is fantastic to see. And finally, I believe you're off to Washington in the coming weeks. What do you hope to achieve from this trip?
Yeah, so we've been part of the Defense Metal Consortium, which is the grant and government subsidy in America, which is the Department of Defense and Department of War. So we've received solicitation from them. Now we put in an application, and we'll travel to Washington next month, as well as I'm doing a few conferences over there. But we'll go and talk to a few guys in the government there. And what we're going to do is look for grants. They've recently funded a couple of larger companies in the tungsten space over there. They have $1 billion critical metals fund, and it seems they like what we have in the ground. So we'll have that conversation, and we'll see what we can put together with the US Defense. So it should be pretty fantastic.
Cashed up, more than $6 million in the bank, new ground, past producing project, and a visit to Washington. Listen, this sounds like it's going to be a very exciting year for Western Star Resources. Blake, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much for having me on. I look forward to talking again soon.